Empower Radio presents Welcome to Blissville with the Bliss Lady, Teri Williams. Get ready to connect with inspiring, motivating, enlightening, and joyful guests who are following their bliss. Now, here's your host, Teri Williams.
Goddess energy going on here in Blissville today. I have one of my favorite Facebook buddies on, Lisa Powell Graham. And Lisa is not only an extraordinary woman and miracle worker, but she is just a truly amazing, joyful goddess. Welcome to Blissville, Lisa.
Thank you, beautiful. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so honored that you invited me, and you're one of my favorite people, too, to connect with and just get infused with your energy regularly. So thank you for being who you are.
Oh, my
Amazing.
God. Thank you. You know, I love Facebook. I have met so many phenomenal people that I know I would never have met had it not been for Facebook.
Me too. It's extraordinary the way it's a connecting tool for all of us in the world, you know, and all this goddess energy, like you talked about, us helping each other raise the love consciousness, raise the vibration, kind of holding each other up to live our dreams. I really feel that energy there. You know, it's beautiful.
Well,
inspiring.
So let's kind of talk about that. Let's talk about helping people really tap into their goddess energy. And I love on your page, your bio page, you talk about the Genie, founder, CEO of your company. But, I mean, you do so much. I watch you on Facebook, travel all over the world, and celebrate people's lives.
I feel very blessed. I feel incredibly blessed.
Sorry about that. My dog wanted her goddess energy in here, too.
Welcome. All goddesses are welcome. Yeah, I feel like just an extraordinarily blessed human being. And I've often said I feel like the luckiest girl in the world in so many ways. And I've had so many intentions over the years, so many visions and goals and dreams in my life that I've been able to actualize. And, traveling the world is one of them. I mean, I've traveled extensively on 4 different continents so far and just been able to really just experience cultures from the inside, staying with people in their homes, and had an extraordinary experience, when I was able to travel with my teacher, Nitya Shanti, to India, who's my spiritual teacher, and teach with him in India. Just all these amazing experiences that I feel so fortunate to have in my life. And I think for me, because I've been so blessed and because I have the chance to connect with so many people on my travels and through Facebook and through my work, it's really one of my missions on the globe, is especially to inspire and empower people to help them live their best lives, and especially women. I really feel called to do that around the goddess energy, and just to nurture other women, to help other women remember to really love themselves, and while they're giving all this energy out to the world, and to have the courage to move on creating their dreams. That's really important to me.
And that's a key word, courage. It really takes a lot to step out and, I don't want to say convince yourself that you can do it, but you're like being a courageous warrior when you get out there and say, I can do this.
You are. You absolutely are. And I love the definitions of courage, acting in the face of fear. I mean, courage doesn't mean an absence of fear necessarily, right? Sometimes we have to challenge ourselves just to walk through the fears, and just remembering that fear is false expectations appearing real. Remember that it's just kind of a paper dragon. It's something that we've cooked up in our mind. So just being able to walk through that and focus on our vision and focus on our bliss. And it's so important. And I really like to support other women on that journey.
Well, and you're in the middle of an amazing online workshop, the 100-Day Extraordinary Woman Challenge, where you are really giving people the opportunity to work at whatever pace that they want, but giving them tips and tools and guidance on how to create an extraordinary life.
Yes, exactly. And I encourage each of the women as we began the program together to take some time to really reflect on what does it mean to them to be extraordinary, right? We each get to define success for ourselves. We each get to decide what a beautiful life looks like, right? And not according to societal standards, but just our hearts, just tapping into that, and to write a commitment pledge at the beginning of the program to what are they committed to, whether it's what they're committed to doing or just who they're committed to being in the world, right? Being empowered, being joyful, being peaceful. So, and then, yes, the program is structured so that we have one group coaching call each week, Monday nights from 8 to 9:30, and we're very blessed to have you as a guest speaker on one of those calls coming up in May, so I'm very excited about that. And we also have a community forum where the women can gather and share how they're doing on their goals, get inspiration from each other. If they're feeling stuck, they can post there and sort of have other people cheer them on and work on their goals together. And then I also send out a daily inspirational email as part of it with some additional tips and tools and links and just fun things to kind of help people with whatever that theme was for the week that we've been working on together. So we have expert guest speakers lined up just about every week. So talking about health and wellness and what are simple shifts that you can make in your life in health and wellness. We have a money coach who was featured on Oprah, Meadow DeVore, who's amazing, who's going to talk to the women about abundance and prosperity and just shifting your relationship to money. We have the Bliss Goddess, you.
Thank you.
coming on May 7th to talk about just, being a blissful woman, right? Being in that practice. And you can talk more later on about what you're going to share with everybody. And just some amazing goddesses sharing simple tips for women on how to continue to practice just living in a healthy, happy space. And then, we just hold this kind of supportive container for the women on the journey. So it's been a lot of fun. We're seeing some powerful shifts happen in people's lives. And I think it's just more fun to work on our goals and work on maybe shifting into healthier habits when we're supported. I think it makes it much easier and more fun to do that in community.
Well, and Lisa, is it something that people can jump into now? I mean, I know that it's been going on for a couple of weeks now, but is there still space, or will you be offering something like this again in the future?
I will likely offer another class, probably not till the fall, but in the interim, if people want to jump on board, all of the phone calls are recorded. So they can listen in. I can send the links to the earlier calls, and they can listen in. We've just had 2 calls so far and 1 more call tonight, and there are 15 total. So they can listen into the calls and start getting the daily emails and benefit from being part of this community. So absolutely, people can still join in. There is still some space. So if this idea of working on your visions for your life, picking some goals and, shifting into some healthier habits, but doing that in a supportive community of women, just whatever it means to you to live your most extraordinary life, kind of stepping into that space more and more, I absolutely welcome people to come on board with us. So definitely.
And what are some of the topics that are going to be on there that we can look for? I mean, I know I've got a few of my favorites, and I'll talk about those in a second, but I'd like for you to share your passionate side of it. What are some of the topics that we're going to see? Sure.
So we have some of our guest speakers that are coming up who I'm really excited about. We have Lindsay Nixon is an award-winning chef and cookbook author who is on a plant-based diet. She's a happy herbivore, and she's going to share some tips on shifting some of your diet to being plant-based and just have, easy, healthy recipes, and sharing some of her tips and some of the benefits that she's had in her life. From eating a really healthy and nutritious and wonderful diet that's also easy to prepare. I have a health and wellness coach, Raya Yaffe, who is going to be presenting. She may be talking about green smoothies, superfoods, and she's actually going to survey the women and kind of see what people are most interested in, because she offers a whole range of services as an integrative health coach. And so she's going to check in with the women on the forum ahead of time as well to get a sense of what's most exciting to them. We have a fitness professional, Janine Trimboli, who's going to talk to women about simple ways that you can just incorporate fitness into your life and your busy lifestyle in a way that feels good to you. We have the money coach, Meadow Javor. We've got Sierra Sullivan from Lifestyle Life Center, who she does presentations on being fun, fabulous, and feminine, talking about the divine feminine energy and how to become even better at allowing ourselves to receive, how to be in kind of our softer feminine energy, and how that can be so empowering and help us create what we want in the world.
And wait, now isn't that something that we really get stuck on? We as humans, really, but women, we find it so hard to receive. We give like crazy. I mean, some of us are over the top on giving. And when it comes to receiving, it's really difficult. Why is that?
I think that it's partly my experience and what I've learned from the teachings and in my own life. I think part of it is what's modeled for us in society, right? Mm-hmm. That women, I think, are expected, or there's this ideal that's held up in society that now that we're in a phase in time and the era that we live in, we're very fortunate where women can have it all in a way that maybe, our mothers, grandmothers, earlier generations, couldn't necessarily have the career and the family at the same level. Mm-hmm. That women can choose to create that for themselves today. And we've broken through a lot of glass ceilings, and just, women have stepped into a lot of powerful roles in the world. And at the same time, it's like sometimes we give so much that we're depleting ourselves, right?
Right.
I mean, because we're expected to have it all and you're trying to do it all. I think it's easy in these nurturing beings that we are. We're used to, caring for others and loving others. And sometimes as women, I think that we neglect to take the time to really nurture ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. We try to do too much, and just being in that kind of the masculine energy model, which is very much, a doing model, and being in that kind of strategic, moving forward, role in the world and creating things is very fun and exciting as well. But I think that, I have to, always remind myself and remind the women that I coach just to, to stop and breathe, to take care of ourselves, to nurture ourselves, and really to be open to receive, on a bigger level. So I think it's kind of a systemic problem in our society,
And we have, you said a few key things there, that masculine side, and we become so much more powerful that we've kind of lost track of our feminine side, and that it's not necessarily in so many people's eyes a good thing to be feminine when, personally, and I see it in you as well, celebrating your femininity is what helps us stay connected to our goddess energy and who we really are.
Yes. And it's fun, it's fun to celebrate. For me, there are so many aspects of being a woman and just embracing feminine beauty in myself and others, and playing with that, and being in sort of a playful energy space with girlfriends, and really celebrating all that's beautiful within us and all that's soft within us and feminine within us. It feels so good. It feels so good to really nurture ourselves and be in that energy space and kind of celebrate the divine in each of us together, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's so important, and I really think it's needed in our world. I sort of think of this century as the century of the woman, in terms of, I believe that women will continue to step into more and more leadership roles around the world, and just in all kinds of ways, whether it's locally or globally, being a leader of your country or a leader in your community, or just, the way that you lead in your family. And I think that as women empower themselves more and more to step into leadership roles and step into our own power in different ways, it shifts the planet, right? There's kind of been an imbalance of the masculine energy and aggressive energy on the planet for a while, which has caused some destruction. And I think that that, we as women, in stepping into that divine feminine, which is a collaborative energy, right, which is all about working together to solve problems, not fighting against each other. And as we join in community and join together to find creative solutions to some of the challenges that are facing us, in community and globally, I think it's going to be an incredibly powerful shift that's going to continue to happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's some key things that I heard as you were speaking. Again, we're talking with Lisa Powell Graham. She's got a great program out there, the 100-Day Extraordinary Women Challenge. And her website is miraclesunlimited.us. You can find all of her information at the Empower Radio website on her page. But you said some key things there that really stood out to me, and that is collaboration. Really connecting together. In the past, I've seen that as women climb to the top of those leadership roles and they were so competitive with men that they kind of lost track of that collaborative effort and were so focused on what people think is that when they think about, self-love, they think about that narcissistic type of self-love where they were focused on getting ahead to the point that they got lost in the sense of community that they had with their female companions and colleagues. And now I see this shift where we're focusing more on working together, celebrating that feminine side, and knowing that being that feminine person, we can still be that leader, that center of light, that, that powerful being that we should be, that we need to be, that we are.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that's one of the challenges that we as women face now, and that we can, empower each other on that journey to continue to really shine our light more brightly, to do what it is we feel called to do in the world, while also supporting other women, right? While also bringing other women along in the journey. I think it's essential. I really do. So, and that's where, part of the idea for this 100-Day Extraordinary Woman Challenge came to me because last fall I was actually setting up these little mini challenges for myself, these 30-day wins, I called them, where I would pick some little habits to shift, or, having more green smoothies in the morning, or sort of working on some things for myself, and realize that, a couple of things. One was that, if I tried to shift 8 things at once, sometimes I wasn't as successful if I tried to shift one thing at once for 30 days and then shift something else, right? Like making it these smaller wins that I could really integrate into my lifestyle. And so I was sort of experimenting with how to make that work. And then I thought this would just be much more fun to do this with a group of women, and support and hold each other on the journey. And that's how this was created. So, which this website too, by the way, just so people know, is 100 extraordinarydays.com. So if people want to go to the website for the event, they can check that out as well. So, but I definitely think, we need to all stand together as women and lift each other up as we work towards our goals together. And that shifts everything on the planet. It's really important.
It really does. Well, let's talk about those emails. Some of the things that people will see when they get your daily email blasts. I'm going to talk about one particular one that was my favorite. And, of course, that had to do with happiness. And you talked about you were reading the Happiness Makeover, and you had some great tips in there. One of the things that really stood out with me was practice. I think that everything that we do is a practice, especially when we're looking to empower our lives. And you have some really great tools in there and tips to help people move forward in their lives and incorporate those happiness practices into their lives.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun putting those together. And basically, in these 100 emails that go out over the course of the 100 days, my intention was to pull upon a variety of resources. I've studied with numerous teachers in different spiritual disciplines over the years, and studied law of attraction, and read countless books on both personal development, spiritual development, and just there's so many resources, right at my fingertips, and my life coach training with Martha Beck. All the different things that I've done, and I wanted to pull from some of those resources and make them available to women, just to give every day a couple little simple thoughts, suggestions, tips, inspirations that they can practice putting into play in their lives. So like you said, there was that example from the happiness makeover. I've given some tips and tools from one of my spiritual teachers, Nithya Shanti, that I spoke about earlier, is based in India, and he is, I like to call him the happiness guru. I mean, he's really focused on helping people to be present in the moment and enjoy their lives now, to really choose happiness as a way of life. And so he has a lot of really simple and beautiful tips. I mean, things as simple as, you know, in retraining the mind to think in a positive frame of mind, because so many of us just in society, our minds can be trained to focus on the negative, and just coming from survival instinct, we can focus on the negative things in our lives rather than focusing on the positive and all the gifts and blessings and beautiful things. And he talks about processes to retrain the mind to focus on the positive that can be as simple as a negative thought arises, or if a self-limiting belief arises, or you think something negative about yourself, you know, and I think I've never met a woman who doesn't have some sort of internal self-critical voice that can arise sometimes, right? So
we all have them, that's for sure. Oh
right?
My gosh.
Right. But just to say cancel as a negative thought arises, to say cancel and practice kind of canceling the thoughts, and, you know, and just be aware when those arise. And I have other different tips that I've sent out about sort of what kinds of positive affirmations. I've actually got one going out tomorrow that talks more about some positive affirmations that you can sort of use in place of that when you're retraining the mind. So, and I've shared some video links, you know, and the past couple of weeks we've really focused a lot on the topic of happiness, and what are practices you can do to be happier, in part because the first 30-day win, and within the 100-day win structure, I created it so there are these 3 little 30-day wins so people can pick something to focus on for each of the 30 days and make a small shift in their lives. And I suggested to people that if they didn't have a particular goal in mind yet, they could focus for the first 30 days on happiness and pick a happiness goal. So, you know, do something for 10 minutes a day that just makes you ridiculously happy. Spend some time each day nurturing yourself, you know, tap into your joy, dance around your kitchen if that makes you happy, or go for a walk if that makes you happy, or, you know, go be in nature if that makes you happy, and just pick some practices or exercises to just really focus on your own joy. So that's been where the focus of the emails has been. And in the next 30 days, we'll be shifting a lot into health and wellness topics. So the emails will focus on that as well, and giving some tips and suggestions from each of the individual speakers also on ways to make just simple positive shifts in your health and wellness to really feel vibrant, feel great, feel energized, you know, feel your best on the journey. So we'll have,
well, it's definitely a key element to being happy, you know, is to incorporating healthier habits into your life. Definitely.
And I think for all of us, I mean, you know, I think that each of us, you know, as we walk the path on the journey, as my teacher likes to say, you know, everything is perfect as it is and can also joyfully be improved. Right. So, which is one of the most profound teachings I've experienced in my life as a recovering perfectionist. Right. The idea that I am perfect as I am and also can joyfully be improved. Right. I can also have fun kind of shifting on the journey. And so I think that no matter where we're starting from, there are always things that we can do to continue to just grow in our well-being, to grow and deepen in our health. And whether for us that means, you know, if nutritionally there are things we want to add into our diets or shift out of, or, you know, do a little bit more exercise or different kind of exercise, or try meditating regularly, or whatever it is. I mean, most of us, you know, no matter where we are, can continue to shift and just become even healthier, even more vibrant. And I don't think that has anything to do with age. I don't think it just doesn't matter what age you are. You can always joyfully, you know, on this journey, continue to nurture yourself even more, right?
And
to make yourself even more radiant.
I am looking forward to the rest of the 100-day program and being a part of it, and being on in May and talking about bliss and how it incorporates health into your life. Lisa, we are down to the wire here. Doesn't it go by fast?
Okay. It does go by fast. It does go by fast. Just talking to your girlfriend on the phone goes by fast, right?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, this has been amazing and such a wonderful experience. Listeners, you can find all of Lisa's information on her page at empowerradio.com. It'll have the links to all of her websites and a few tidbits about her beautiful goddess energy. I love to have my guests leave the listeners with, one powerful thought for the day, for the week, for life. What's your one powerful thought, sister?
Sure. I would say I would pick something from that has been very inspiring to me on my journey from my teacher, Nithya Shanti. And he begins a lot of his workshops by having us together say, today is the happiest day of my life because I choose to make this the happiest day of my life. And my intention in my own life, my intention with my clients is just to help all of us again and again to choose happiness on our path, and just would wish for all of our listeners, may today and every day be the happiest day of your life just because you choose that, because we choose to walk in happiness and acceptance and love of ourselves in every moment, and just in, practicing our bliss on the path. So may today be the happiest day of your life.
Oh, that was beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing in my happiness. I'm so glad you were here.
Thank you, Teri. It's such a pleasure to be with you. So enjoy, and lots of love to you and to all the listeners out there. So may you all continue to be infinitely blessed and enjoy all of the blessings of this lifetime. So thank you, my dear.